welcome back to Dream Daddy. There are shadowy figures off in the distance. We are alone at night in a graveyard, having a picnic with Damien. And what is that in the distance?
Ah!
I'm not sure. It noticed us. I'm paralyzed with fear as it begins lumbering slowly towards us, its shape taking a more animal form, more feral. I look to Damien for help, but he's just as afraid and transfixed as I am. Robert, is that you? Are you a werewolf? I want to scream, but it's stuck in my throat. The creature is getting closer, moving faster.
Ah!
Woof! Oh. It's a dog. Hello! You're tiny. As it finally comes into the light, the friendliest, dumbest looking Boston Terrier I've ever seen pulls its owner toward us.
Oh.
The dog trots over to Damien and sniffs at his hands. Damien looks ecstatic. He ruffles the dog's fur happily. What a beautiful dog. Hey, we both look up, not expecting to see Robert. Thanks.
Uh-huh.
Robert, what are you doing out here on this lovely evening?
Mm-hmm.
Hunting cryptids.
Huh.
What? What? I didn't know you had a dog. This isn't my dog. I found her wandering in the street. I put a leash on her, and now we're walking around this graveyard together. Doesn't everybody do that? Hunting cryptids. Doesn't everybody do that? Damien and I share a look.
Oh.
May I give her a treat? Sure. Wouldn't give her cheese, though. Judgment. Not to worry. Damien reaches into the depths of his cloak and procures a small dog treat. What else is he keeping in there? The dog laps up the treat and crunches away, tail wagging furiously. Damien continues to smooth down her fur. Thanks.
Hey.
My absolute pleasure. Damien shakes the dog's paw. Lovely to meet you, my friend. May our paths cross again. Robert and his dog disappear into the darkness again. Damien stares after them. I didn't know you liked dogs.
Ah.
Victorians loved dogs, actually. Most Victorian women of high fashion would always be accompanied by a small dog such as a terrier or a Maltese. I think big dogs are nice, too. Yeah, man, dogs are cool.
Ah.
I do believe we've had enough excitement for one night. What say we make our way home? Damien hops to his feet and extends a hand to help me up. I gladly take it as my knees aren't what they used to be. He packs up his picnic basket and leads us out of the graveyard. As we begin the walk home, I take one last look at the cemetery. It really is beautiful. Like a proper gentleman, Damien walks me to my doorstep. Thank you ever so kindly for your company tonight. Damien, it was my pleasure. Cassian, if you'll allow me, it would bring me great joy to offer you a token of my affection. Damien reaches into his cloak and pulls out a folded, monogrammed handkerchief. He presses it into my hand. Wow, thank you, Damien. I can't wait to sneeze on this now! And I don't want to talk about grieving for loved ones. So, yeah, saving. I'm gonna wave this at passing ships. I approve. Damien shuffles his feet. I just want to say that it's rare to find someone like you. Someone who's open to my eccentricities.
Oh.
It's nice to feel so accepted. Thank you. Damien gives my hand a quick squeeze. You're so sweet. Damien blushes and hastily retracts his hand. I must take my leave. Good night. Before I can say anything else, he's gone. Huh. I unlock the door and step inside. Like a whirlwind, Amanda runs from the window and plops down on the couch, trying to look nonchalant. Hey, Dad! What's up? Were you watching me from the window? No, I was just, Okay, yes. How was the movie? Lots of vampire titties. Told you. But as it turns out, Damien is scared. Wait. Amanda doesn't need to know that. I'll keep it between me and Damien. Scary cool. Yep, he's so cool it's scary. Nice save, Cassian. Good job. Did you know that graveyards used to be a place to throw parties? I think I'm misremembering that. Oh, wow, that's pretty punk. Also, we saw a dog. Definitely thought it was a werewolf for a minute, though. How can you be so sure it wasn't a werewolf? How can you be so sure I'm not a werewolf? And how can I be so sure you're not a werewolf? Amanda's eyes narrow. I don't trust you. Nor I you. We make intense, worry eye contact for a second. Anyway, I'm calling it for a night. Don't stay up too late, will ya? I'll try not to howl at the moon past midnight. Is that S? Tell me it was an S ranking. Dog. Oh.
Are you familiar with the works of Corey Feldman? He simply slayed in The Lost Boys.
I don't know what that means, Damien, but yes, we got the S rank. Okay. Give me a little break because we're gonna move on to Brian in just a second, but I need to change batteries. So, who's ready for some friendly competition? Hi, Brian. Hey, I'm Brian. I spend most of my days being a dick. Bye. Ow. I bonked my teeth. Oh, I have a message from Brian. Hey, Daisy and I are going fishing tomorrow. Are you in or are you out? What song does this remind me of? This reminds me of a Disney song. Ah, dang it, it's a villain song too! Ah, where's it from? No. If anyone remembers what song Are You In or Are You Out is from, let me know, because I need to remember. This is bothering me now. Oh no, I've been dreading this day. I accidentally boasted about my abilities as a fisherman to Brian, and now he's challenging me to another dad-off. I've been doing my fishing research online, but I'm nowhere close to being an expert. Still though, I have to accept. It's the only thing my pride will accept. I type back to Brian. Sounds great, man. Super excited to catch all those fish, and my lawn could use another good mowing. Pardon me, that'll show him. Brian responds back, letting me know that tomorrow he'll pick us up at an hour I had previously forgotten existed. Man, it's gonna be a rough start. You've been hanging out with, Craig. Shouldn't be that bad. You've been acclimating yourself to mornings. Amanda comes into the room from the kitchen, eating a cheese stick by biting it off piece by piece like some kind of monster. That's how I enjoy cheese sticks, especially when they're deep fried. They're called Nazi sticks. I didn't raise you like that. What? It's called string cheese, and it's not chompy cheese for a reason, Amanda. Did you just call me in here to criticize my controversial cheese eating technique, or what? No, Amanda, we have to go fishing tomorrow. Well, you have to go fishing. I get to play with Brian's dog. How do I become a master of fishing overnight? You went fishing in Girl Scouts, didn't you? Nope. My stint in the Scouts was brief and purely transactional, though I thought I could get free cookies, but I didn't know that I had to be, like, outside and tie knots and stuff. But I have to beat Brian. Dad, let me tell you a story. Do you remember last summer how I applied for a job at that coffee shop across town? Give me a refresher. During the interview, they asked me if I knew how to work an espresso machine, and I really wanted this job, so I lied and said yes. On that first morning, there was a line out the door, and within half an hour, I had severely burned my hand, and they told me to go home and never come back. I still have a scar from that. Of course I remember. What does that have to do with fishing? The burn is a metaphor, Dad. I don't get it. You can lead a horse to water. What do horses have to do with fish and burns? Dad, please. I don't get your obsession with competing against Brian. You wouldn't understand. It's a dad thing. Please try explaining it to me. Okay, Brian's just... He just thinks he's so much better than me, and he purposefully reminds me of that whenever he can. It's like he has to one-up me. I have to beat him at his own game. Is that what you think is happening here? No, Amanda. Okay, I know that's what's happening. Alright, Pops. We should both be getting some sleep. See you in the morning. Night, Panda. I brush my teeth and throw on some pajamas. I climb into bed, set my alarm, and close my eyes. Okay. Sleep. I am wide awake. I can't help but think about the last time I went fishing, hoping that there's something I can glean from it to give me an edge over Brian. I was about 9 years old. My dad woke me up one morning and told me to get dressed and meet him downstairs. Oh, it was still dark out. I had no idea what was going on, but before I knew it, we were both alone on a freezing cold lake. I had to sit there for hours while it got hot and muggy, the air thick with bugs. I picked up mosquito bites while my dad sat in stony silence, fishing pole in one hand and a beer in another. We didn't catch anything. On the long drive home, my father bought me a pack of cigarettes and didn't say a thing. It's kind of fucked up. That didn't help, and I think I have some repressed sadness about my father. I'll deal with that later. Okay. I'm sitting on a boat in the middle of a body of water. I can't see any land, but this view sure is nice. But I know it's a lake. The water is placid and still. I am holding a fishing pole. I don't understand why, but it feels like my life depends on catching fish right now. I cast my lure into the water and wait, and wait, and wait. My whole being is filled with hopelessness as I watch the line disappear into the depths below. You used the wrong lure. I look up and see my father, just as he looked that one cold morning, disapproving. I'm panicking now. I pull the lure up and try to grab a different one, but all of the lures in my tackle box are the exact same. I look up to my father for guidance, but he's gone. I try casting again, but I can't hold my footing. My boat tips over, and I fall into the water, sinking further and further. I see the multitudes of fish that had been lying just below the surface, all swimming around me as if to taunt me. One fish swims up to me. He has Brian's eyes. You gotta use a neutral buoyancy lure if you're trying to catch trout, buddy. Okay, I jolt awake to the sound of my alarm. It's fishing day! That would explain the weird dream. I groggily slip on clothes and get ready. I spot Amanda's door halfway open and see her still curled up in a mountain of blankets. Walking over to her bed, I give her a tiny kiss on the forehead. Wow. Fishing day, kiddo. You ready? No. Well, you gotta get up. I can't do this without you. Also, stop sleeping in your clothes. But it's so much more convenient. Amanda pulls her comforter over her head. Never! Amanda, I'll get up in a minute. Alright, Brian should be here in 20, so you better not just go back to sleep. She's going just back to sleep. Amanda sticks her hand through the blanket to wave me away. I leave her room and make myself some coffee and another cup with lots of cream and sugar for Amanda whenever she gets up. Amanda eventually wanders in and chugs her coffee while I do world jumbles. I hear the doorbell ring. That must be Brian. Oh, goody. Still rubbing our eyes, we walk outside to see Brian. He's decked out in fishing gear, though you can't really see it here. Daisy's falling asleep next to him. Early bird gets the worm, buddy. You ready to fish? I was born ready. My eyes narrow in on Brian. It's a good day to die. Hop on in, guys. Let's get this fishing party started. I walk over to the driver's side door and open it. Woof, woof. Brian's dog immediately hops into the driver's seat, wagging his tail furiously. Can I see your license, sir? Maxwell, let Cassian sit. Maxwell obediently hops into the back to cuddle with Daisy. Amanda settles in next to Maxwell and Daisy and immediately falls asleep. You ready for an adventure? I'm ready for glory. I struggle to stay awake as we drive to the outskirts of town. Country music plays quietly from the radio as I watch trees pass us by. So, where exactly are we headed? It's in about an hour north of here. A little spot I've been going to since I was a kid. My dad used to take me there all the time. I don't think anybody else knows about it. I brought everything we need so we can catch some trout, have a nice little fire, and enjoy the nature. My fishing pole's in the shop? Getting it tuned up. Do you maybe have an extra one I could borrow? But of course, it's probably not as nice as it sounds like yours is, though. Right. I am digging a hole here. I stare out at the forest lining the highway. The sun is just barely over the horizon, scattering dusty pink light through the trees. For a split second, I spot a deer grazing on the side of the road before it leaps back into the brush. After a nice, quiet drive, Brian eventually tells me to pull off the highway and onto a dirt road. The car bumps along until we reach a clearing that opens up to a magnificent lake. Well, here we are. I step out of the car and help Brian unload our gear as Maxwell runs around us barking. The kids wake up and wander to the shore, where Daisy tries to teach Amanda how to skip rocks. Brian and I carry the tackle boxes and cooler down to the edge of the lake, where he has a canoe waiting. Oh, great, it's still in one piece. Hold on, help me out with Maxwell. I help Brian place a tiny, dog-sized life vest onto Maxwell. Woof, woof! Alright, your turn. Brian hands me a lime green life vest. There's a very flirty line, but, if I fall in, I'm counting on you to rescue me. There it is. Suit yourself. Brian turns to Amanda and Daisy, who are still skipping rocks. You kids want to fish? And so you know, Cassian just basically guaranteed it that Brian is going to have to save him now. That's all there is to it. It's scripted. He's going to fall in. He's going to fall in and it's going to be just like his dream and Brian's going to rescue him and hearts will go aflutter. That's how this works. I'm good with just throwing rocks into the water. Amanda hurls a rock into the pond with gusto. Yeah, take that, water! Amanda, you're supposed to be skipping them. Is that what we're doing? Daisy, don't you want to fish? I think catching fish is kind of inhumane. We're gonna go explore the woods and look at bugs and stuff. Alright, be safe. Don't go too far. Brian puts a life vest around himself and we all throw all of our equipment into the canoe. Maxwell happily jumps in and takes his place looking out over the front of the boat. I get into the canoe as Brian shoves off. We paddle together to get ourselves in the middle of the lake. So, I am gonna have to pause us here and we'll catch fish and work through our daddy issues